Hello everyone. So from advanced Java, in last session we understand what is database. What is the difference between database and file systems? If you want to save the data, we generally use text files. If you want to store some data, if you want to store some notes, if you want to save some information, we may use simple text files or Excel sheets, or we create a folder there. We will store all the audios or videos, images, so whichever we need, right? And we understand the major differences between file system and database, how databases are really useful in web applications. We understand it. Okay. And when you use database, generally we interact with database using query language. Okay. So we use DDL to create tables. We use DML to do insert or update kind of data queries. To retrieve data, we will use the DRL queries, right? So these all we will use. So we understand databases given to store information securely, and it is providing a lot of advantages. The information will be stored in a tabular format. We will use queries and information stored as a structured data, highly scalable and highly concurrent, concurrency. Multiple people can interact with the same table, and automatic backups and all we can able to do, and powerful such, and queries we can able to execute on the database, but all these are not possible on the file system. Now, how can we connect from Java to a database? If I use Java as a middleware, if I use Java as a middleware for my application, how can I connect from Java to database? How to connect with the database from your Java application? So this is the simple code snippet, whichever you are seeing. Okay, this is the simple code snippet. 2 lines of code we write to connect with the database. Okay, one is loading the driver, and the second statement is getting connection from database. Okay, so in these two steps we will be able to connect with the database. Then after connecting with the database, you can execute any queries which you want. You can execute any queries you can execute. Okay, whichever you want. Let me explain the stages wise what we do. As first stage, right? I'm a developer, sir. I want to connect with the database from my Java code. I'm a developer. I want to code. How can I start? So now first thing, as a developer, what you should do, you need to choose your database. Select a database first. Select database which you want. Step one, choose a database. So I want to use MySQL database, sir. I want to use MySQL. You have a lot of options, okay? A lot of options you have. So I want to use MySQL. Yes, you can use. So if you want to use MySQL, first thing, install this, okay? Install it. Install MySQL. Install MySQL. How to install it, sir? You just Google it. Okay. Go to Google. Okay. Open a tab. Ask for the MySQL 8 download. MySQL 8 download. So you will get here MySQL 8 software. Click on it. Download it. I want to use it for Windows operating system or Ubuntu, whichever operating system you are using. Choose it, and you go here. Click on download. Okay, use download and install it. So while installation, it will ask for the password. Default username, it will give root, and it will ask for the password. Use both username and password. Username and password, same username password. So easily you can remember the things. I generally use the root and root. Okay. So once installation is done, what next, sir? Step two. As a step two, create a Maven project or a simple Java project, up to you. So create Maven project. Create Maven project from where you can use Eclipse. You can use Eclipse. You can use Eclipse IDE. So it will be easy to you to code. So sir, what about if I don't have Eclipse? Download it. Okay. You can download Eclipse. To download Eclipse, okay, you can take latest Eclipse. Okay. Eclipse download. You can choose here for Windows. You have install your favorite ID. Install it. Okay. Use this one. Okay. Download it. Once installation is done, okay, you can able to use it. So create a Maven project in Eclipse. Create a Maven project in Eclipse. How to do that, sir? Open Eclipse. Already I have a project. Let me create it for you. This is Eclipse IDE. Okay. I'm going to file, new, choose Maven project. Okay. Create a simple project. Choose this option or else it will be difficult to create a simple project. Click next. Give some package name. Okay. com.rbu.jdbc. You can give same to artifact also. Name of the project, Jdbc. Okay. First example. There is no parent project required. So already Jdbc artifact is there. So it is asking to change it. So Jdbc test. That's it. Click on finish. So project got created. Okay. So one project got created here. This is Maven project. Okay. Maven will have one POM file. There you can add your database required dependencies. Okay. So which dependency we need to add here? As we chose to use MySQL database. I wanted to use MySQL database. So once after you creating Maven project, step 3, add MySQL dependency. Add MySQL dependency. Add MySQL dependency. So who will tell sir which is the dependency for my MySQL database? Where I can find? You can Google it. So you downloaded version MySQL 8. So you can ask. You can ask Google, or you can go to Maven repository. You can go to Maven repository. Open Maven repository. Search here MySQL 8. Search for it. So you can see MySQL driver here. MySQL driver. Search for the MySQL driver. You can see MySQL connector J, MySQL connector. So choose whichever version you want. Basically, we need to use MySQL connector. Okay. MySQL connector. Here you can see latest version is up to 8. We have here. So choose the latest version, MySQL 8.0 point something. So when you go there, here you can see Maven, Gradle, lot of project types we have. As our project is Maven project only, copy this dependency. Just when you click here, it will select it, copy it, and go straight away to your POM file. Just paste it. That's it. You are done. You are done. So your project got created and Maven dependency also added. Okay. So successfully you created project. By here successfully you created project. By here successfully you created project. So what next, sir? You need to write code. This is the code snippet. This is the code snippet. So what it will do, sir? First line, class.forName will register the driver, whichever database you are using, right? To connect with the database, lot of internal code we will have. So that particular driver class will be registering here. With whom? Driver manager class. So this is the internal code that is executing. When you execute class.forName, right? When you execute class.forName, it will execute driver manager dot register driver. I just commented this line for you. So this code is executing from which class? Driver class only. In this driver class, there is a static block that it will be executed. When you use class.forName, when you load your driver, right? During loading time, static blocks will be executed. static block of driver class will execute. In that static block, which code we have? Driver manager dot register. So this driver manager dot register is loading or registering your class, driver class, MySQL driver class into driver manager. So the driver manager duty is when you give URL, username, passwords, right? If you see three parameters we have here, driver manager dot get connection, we have three parameters. First one is URL, my database URL I given here. So I'm connecting with MySQL, which is running in localhost. Localhost means my machine IP address. And 3306 is my port number. In this port only my database is running. And my test DB is the DB that we created in the last session, if you remember. And root are the username passwords. The first one is username, the next one is password. So URL, username, password, you need to pass URL, username, password. Then if everything is correct, all the details are correct, then you will get connection. So that same connection I'm printing here. If details are wrong, you will not get connection. So in these two steps, you can able to connect with your database. Okay. So this is what you need to do as a step 4, write Java code, right? Create Java code to connect with the database. That's it. Okay. Let me show you that code here. Okay. I'm creating a package, as I mentioned, con.rbu.jdbc test. Here I'll write the class main method class. Let me increase the font size, okay? Now what you can do here, as I shown in the code snippet, right? Open try catch block, because your JDBC code will throw compile time exceptions. It will throw compile time exceptions. So definitely you should have a try catch block, or you need to throw that. Better write try catch. And if there is any exception in your code, you can print that exceptions also. Now you can start your code here. First step inside code, right? Step 1. Step 1 is what? Register the driver. Register the driver class into driver manager. Driver manager is the key class which will connect with databases. My Java code, if it wants to connect with database, I need a driver manager. In simple diagrammatical way, this is my Java code. This is my Java code. To connect my Java code with database, I should use driver manager class. This is the medium between your Java code and database. The driver manager is the key class. Driver manager is the key class. Using this class only, you can able to do communication between database and Java. This is the mediator. Okay. Can't we do without driver manager means? No, not at all possible. Okay. So to connect with your Java application, you need driver manager class. So driver manager is a key class. So you have to register driver. Which driver? Database particular driver. So I'm using MySQL database here. If I'm using MySQL database here, first thing what you need to do here, you need to load MySQL driver. Load or register. So you need to register. You need to inform to driver manager class. You are going to connect with MySQL. So load that driver class. Using what? Driver manager only. So driver manager class will get registered. Driver class will be registered here. So first step you need to register. database particular driver. This driver provided by whom? This database vendor only. This database vendor only will provide this driver. So we added that driver dependency through form, right? In the Maven project, we added it. Okay, if I am using Oracle database cursor, yes, Oracle driver also will be provided. Whatever database you will use, the same database provider will be providing you driver class. So you need to register the driver class. So what is the way to register? You can use class.forName. Class.forName, you can register driver class. You can register driver class. Complete path you need to provide. Complete path of your class. So basically driver class is there in we need MySQL driver class. Dependency has been added. So this is the driver class that we need to load. Let me check. Let me check whether this driver is. Oh, it is saying not available. Right. So form dependency I'm verifying. Same dependency we added. We have same dependency. Add it between dependencies. Okay. We just did copy paste. Okay. So dependency also corrected. Now go and check driver class. Yeah, now driver class is available. Use this driver class com.mysql cj.jdbc.driver. Okay. So what is the need of loading this driver class here? As I said, right, it will register with the driver manager when you load it. When you load it, it will register with the driver manager. When you run it, basically what code will execute when you run this line number 9, right? It will be executing this important code. Which code? This static block. If you observe here, what code you can see, driver manager dot register. So in this driver manager dot register, actual driver class is getting registered. Same class is getting registered here. Okay. So this class is having a lot of code which is extended from SQL driver. A lot of implementations are given. Okay. In this class and in this class, all that information will be loaded into JVM when this statement is executed. Okay. So basically this is what being executed when you run class.forName. Now what you can do once you registering the driver, you can get the connection. You can get the connection on equal to driver manager. You can ask a driver manager, hey driver manager, I registered my driver and I'm giving you my URL, username, password. Please give me one connection from database. So for that, you need to provide URL. This is the same syntax that you need to use. Jdbc colon, MySQL colon. Let me copy it. Jdbc colon, MySQL colon, localhost. This is my machine IP and a port number. When you use localhost, right, it states that database also part of your machine. If database is part of a different machine, here URL will be changed in real time, right? You will observe different URLs here, something AWS dot DB, something AWS URLs you will be getting here. AWS host you will be seeing here, or any other cloud hostess you will see here. Okay. For now, as we are using same local host, same, database part of my local machine, I'm using localhost. And database is running on 3306 port number. So I given that. And this is the database which we created in the MySQL. This is one, you can consider like one schema for you. You created it and you need to give username, password, right? Strictly secured. So you have to pass username, password. That's it. Now you can check whether this connection object is provided or not. Try to print and verify it. Once I done it right, I'm just casually running it to verify whether connection is created or not. I can see successfully connection got created. One connection is created. Good. So when I run this code, connection is getting created. That means you can able to connect with your database. So what next? You can execute any queries now. Now onwards here, you can execute any queries. DDL I want, sir, execute. DML, execute. DRL, execute. You can do anything from here. For example, in MySQL database, I don't have any table to store information. In this DB, right, I don't have any table. Or do we create it? Let's check. Show tables. So there is a student table actually. Okay. Select star from student. I can see one record is inserted, Pawan. It is having ID, name, email. Good. Let me execute this DRL query then. Okay. Now few steps you need to write. For each query, right? DDL in one way we will run, DML in one way, DRL in one way, we will execute. We'll discuss, depth in about them. For now, I'll just show you whether it is connecting or not. Connection dot. You can write create a statement. Same SQL query, right? Whichever I am executing there, I will execute it from here. Statement dot execute query. There is a method called execute query. Here you can give the same SQL query. Select star from student. Instead of from command prompt, from Java, we are trying to call the same query. So it will give you results. It will give you results in one result set object. You can use result set object. So when you iterate through this result set, right, you can see the data. Okay, you can read from result set. While rs.next result set dot get int first column contains number, student ID. If you see here, ID is a number. Name and email are the varchars. So in Java, I'm asking, give me that number. First column, number. Second column, string. Third column, string. So whatever number of records you have, right, all that records will be selected here if your code executes properly. Yes, I can see ID, name, email got fetched. ID, name, email got fetched. So if I have like thousands of records, will it fetch? Yes, it will fetch all the records. So basically, coming back to context, we understand how to register driver and how to get the connection. After getting connection, yes, we can do anything. You can execute, you can create tables, you can delete tables, or you can insert data, you can update it, you can select it, right? In many ways, we can do that. So to do that, right, we have to write a lot of other statements. For DRL, simply I created a statement, then I selected a query, then I'm iterating the data here. Okay, in the next session, I'll show you clearly how to use, how to execute DDL, DML, DRLs, and the statements also multiple types we have. We will discuss about that. Okay, hope you understand how to connect with the database from Java application using driver manager, right? Yeah, thank you.